making a living off of other people's content. Let's do a walk and talk about this. That's right. Making a living off of other people's content. Now, I wanted to do a little walk and talk, but I needed a title, didn't I? So I figured that's as good as any, because I got another comment from someone, and it was in yesterday's tater video. It said about me stealing content and making a living off of stolen content. Well, first of all, if you watched my tater video yesterday, what did I steal? I think I used one picture of the generator in the parking spot. I didn't even use any clips for a reason. I wanted to prove a point, but still, stolen content and making a living. Well, I've said many times that this is just a hobby for me. This isn't my end all be all. This isn't my sole source of income. This isn't how I make a living. But to back that up, not too long ago, someone made a comment and said that seeing how I only make $250 a month, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. My Carolyn chimed in and said something, and I said something about how do you know how much I make, and the person came back and said, well, I have a YouTube channel, I'm a creator, and I have over 400,000 subscribers, and I know how it works, and blah, 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 blah. So you take my experience and my knowledge and you combine it with Social Blade, and I am very confident that you make $250 a month. Okay, so there you go. I make $250 a month, according to this person. So how am I making a living off of this so-called stolen content? If indeed it is stolen, which I don't think it is. I don't steal people's content. But hey, this person that keeps commenting, they insist. But here's the other thing. Now, you guys know, you know me, you've been around long enough. I leave shitty comments up unless they get really, really bad, or they're doxing people or some other shit. Or I'll let you know now, if you leave a link, doesn't matter if it's a good link, bad link, or whatever. If you leave a link, it's gonna get thrown in the shit bin because YouTube doesn't allow that. That's not a me thing. That's a YouTube thing. They don't do the whole promoting other things. Plus I have it set that links are not accepted at all anyway. So if you put in a link, it's not going to go through. But anyway, but I leave these comments up. But this person, and I'm talking about broke dick or hurt dick or whatever is old broke dick, penile problem guy. It's not that what he's saying is bad or that it's upsetting or anything like that. It's just, it's getting just repetitive and boring and just, oh, it's just every day. Stolen content, stolen content. You build your channel on stolen content. Oh, stolen content again. You make your living off of stolen content. Blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing over, at least, I mean, you're talking about me not being original, not having original content? Be original. Don't say the same fucking thing every day, 3 times a day. Good Lord. It's really getting annoying. The repetitive nonsense of small-minded, narrow-minded, ignorant assholes is just astounding to me. But what are you gonna do? So, yeah, that's my stolen content, little spiel. I don't, whatever. Like I said, I could sit here and I could spout off at least 1,000 channels right off the top of my head of people that just hit play and sit there and talk. And these channels, like I said, I showed you the other day, they have millions of subscribers. YouTube ain't doing shit to them. Because of my 12-minute video, I use 30 seconds of somebody, combined with like 3 clips, and it's 30 seconds. And I'm stealing your content, and their whole channel's gonna collapse because I used a clip. And again, on YouTube, there's a little button that says, take a clip. They show you how, they tell you how, they have a button to make it so you can do it. But we have these ding-dongs that insist it's illegal and the courts are coming. Speaking of that, I'm still waiting for all my letters for the lawyer from Tater. There's 2 times from years ago. I'm still leaning on the mailbox waiting for them. And now Bob and Tam, I'm waiting for their letters to come. Still nothing. And now I got Broke Dick talking about the courts are going to change these fair use laws and everything's going to change. And once I can't use Tater stuff anymore, my channel's going to go away because I have nothing original and blah, 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 blah. Oh, funny shit. YouTube's an interesting place. It really is. It's a real interesting place. I just was perusing. I went over to, I saw a thumbnail for a Mikey while I was watching the video. A little in the suggested row was a Mikey video. He's talking about sleep. I clicked on it for, I don't know, maybe just over a minute I watched. And of course he's still posting, so his clickbait is still clickbait to me. He is not quitting. No matter how much he proclaimed it wasn't clickbait, he's going away, he's quitting YouTube. He ain't quitting shit. He's still posting. He's posting daily, and he's posting on 2 channels. So how in the fuck is that quitting? Going from 1 channel to 2 channels is quitting? I think he's a little bit backwards. I don't know, maybe Mikey's dyslexic. Along with, special. And I'm not talking about D special, I'm talking about short bus special, Favorite color is clear. A little window liquor. But, yeah. So he's talking about sleep. Oh, do you know half your life is spent sleeping and blah, 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 blah. So if you're 50, you were only conscious for 25 years and the rest was, And he started going off in some tangent about quantum physics and jumping through wormholes and different realities and all this other. I was like, okay, it's time for me to go. So I was, like I said, I only listened for a little bit, and I was like, okay, Mikey's doing his nutball stuff again. So I clicked off. But, I mean, if you know anything about anything, biology and how things work and how the human body works, yeah, that half the time that you're, as Mike says, unconscious, well, your body does amazing things. How it repairs itself, heals itself, regenerates itself, and does all kinds of amazing things. And it's just like your computer has to have some downtime to reboot, update, and while it's doing all that, making things better, you can't use it. It's got to be shut down for a bit. So yeah, your body does the same thing, but we won't get into all that. But watching Mikey reminded me of something that I haven't thought about in a while, and that was, remember, I don't know, 8-10 years ago or so, when Wal Marts, abandoned, closed Wal Marts. It's not that the store's closing, it's the government, FEMA camps, martial law, any minute now. Well, again, it's been, 8 to 10 years. Not seen any signs of martial law. I haven't been thrown in in an abandoned Wal Mart in a FEMA camp. But it was everywhere. There was tons and tons of videos of people going nuts. That, yeah. It's just Walmart taking over everything. Running out mom and pop shops. And then, you know, getting traffic patterns changed and digging retention ponds for runoff and all this other shit for their giant parking lots, and then going, yeah, we've done what we wanted, we've done what we come to do, and then they leave and they go to a different neighborhood and ruin it. But according to the internet and YouTube and some other places, that wasn't the case. Walmarts were being taken over by the government. Not just the government, but FEMA. And they were FEMA camps, detention centers, to hold all the detainees during martial law. Yep. Never happened, did it? Even during the big influx of illegals when the border was wide open and thousands every day were coming across. Yeah, I didn't see Walmarts turned into FEMA camps. I didn't see everybody being rounded up. I don't know. I just think it was funny. It just, watching Mikey and all his blah, 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 blah reminded me of that. And just how much things change, but still stay the same. Oh, I mean, you got to think, you know, Mike and his stories. This guy just started his loud ass truck and he's going to sit there for 20 minutes dicking around. But I'll wait here and see where Sparky's going. But yeah, Mike and his gloom and doom stuff. And yeah, I talked about, you know, just look behind me when I'm walking, and you know, there's not homeless people. All these houses around here, they're not abandoned. They're well kept. You know, some of them around here get a little run down here and there, but I mean, for the most part, everything's good. There's being road work done, so the local municipalities are keeping up with their responsibilities and duties, hopefully spending taxpayer money properly. They're probably blowing a whole bunch of it, but that's that. And I'm not trying to say that things are perfect and everything's great, and you know, the illusion of the 1950s where, you know, mom wore a dress and high heels and, you know, June Cleaver, washed dishes and stuff, and still was dressed to the nines, and dad wore a suit and tie, and you know, when you got on an airplane, it wasn't like today where people with flip-flops putting their nasty ass feet up on your armrests and screaming and hollering and causing a ruckus and acting an ass and being all ghetto and all a bunch of hood rats fighting and shit. No, it was a big thing. Flight attendants were called stewardesses. They had to meet a certain requirement. They had to go through training. And it was like almost like a vacation. It was like a privilege to get on a plane. All that stuff is gone. But I digress. But yeah, I'm not trying to say that everything's perfect and everything's grand. But if things were that bad, I mean, really, if things were that bad and you couldn't, and there was no hope, there'd be a lot of people, you know, ending it. Or there'd be a whole bunch of people, because this is America. Remember, If you ask anybody else that's outside of America, and even some people on the other side of the aisle, there's no need for them, but all you people have all your guns and things. So yeah, if it was that awfully bad, if it was that terrible, yeah, there wouldn't be no January 6th insurrection thing. No, there'd be a full takeover if you couldn't. Because when it gets to the point where people they can't live, they have to live in a box, they can't eat, they have to steal, not just because they're part of some marginalized group that can't get ahead because of, no, I mean, really, for real. Yeah, it'd be a whole lot uglier. I wouldn't be out here walking, because it would be Mad Max times. And somebody left a comment to say, oh yeah, well, yeah, just because you're walking around your neighborhood and this and that, and there's new cars and blah, 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 people live paycheck to paycheck. Well, no fucking shit. Tell me the time when people didn't. Then I'd be more excited. You tell me when people didn't live paycheck to paycheck. That's what people do. Everybody always did live paycheck to paycheck. From the dawn of time. You're a kid, you get your first job. You move out of the house. You get a little bit of money. So you move into your first shitty ass apartment. You sit on the floor. You build a fucking bookshelf out of cinder blocks and some plywood. And you live paycheck to paycheck. Then you get a better job and you get more money. Do you stay in that cheap apartment and sit on the floor and watch the TV on the cinder blocks? No! You upgrade. You spend more money because you got more money. So you're still living paycheck to paycheck, even though you're making more money. How does that happen? Oh my God, it must be the government. It must be the economy. No. Then you get a girlfriend. And you're together for a couple of years. And you talk about it. You go, hey, why are you paying rent and I'm paying rent? Why don't we move in together? That's a good idea. Instead of running back and forth and just let's move in together. You make that decision. Now there's two incomes. Do you decide to stay in that same apartment? No, we got two incomes. We can get a bigger place, a nicer place. So what are you doing? You're still living paycheck to paycheck. Or if you stay in that same space, you go, well, now we can afford a nicer car, right? So you're still living paycheck to paycheck. It doesn't matter. You're making $500 a week. I mean, a month. If you're making a week, yeah. If you're making $500 a week, you drive this, you live there, and you eat that. If you start making $1,000 a week, you don't stay there. You don't keep driving that. You don't keep eating that. Everything goes up. So you're still living paycheck to paycheck. That's human nature. That's not the government stepping on your neck or economic collapse. That's just what people do. You know, you don't have a guy who started a business in his garage when he lived in a little ranch house at the end of the cul-de-sac, started a multi-million-dollar business out of his garage. Well, now he's a multi-millionaire. Did he stay in his garage? Did he stay in his little ranch house? No. Packed up everything, bought a nicer car, moved into a big old mansion. because that's the way it works. That's what you do. That's why you do. Not everyone's content, like Mike and others, to sit in a broke down Pilot and live in a broke down RV in the middle of the desert, secluded, away from everybody, doing absolutely nothing. Some people look for advantages, ways to get ahead. And they go ahead and they do that, and they try to advance. But yeah, if you're advancing and you're doing better, you usually don't stay in that small, shitty, one-bedroom, first apartment that you had when you were 19, when you're 60. Because things change. Your income changes. Times change. You don't always just sit down and be happy eating ramen noodles all the time. Nope. Now you're eating hamburgers and French fries and a steak on Fridays. I don't know. You're ordering out for pizza. You're just not eating ramen noodles and chicken nuggets from McDonald's, you know? So that people are living paycheck to paycheck and always have, probably always will. That's just human nature. I just think it's funny. But yeah, things ain't perfect. But they're not as bad as all this gloom and doom. The sky is falling and you can't afford a place to live. You're going to be living on the streets or under a bridge somewhere. You can't eat. Food's so expensive. Gas prices are so high you can't afford to drive anywhere. Then why is there still so much fucking traffic? Why is there traffic jams? Why can't you fucking get around? If everybody's so homeless, everybody's so broke, nobody can afford anything, you should be able to jump in your car and just fucking like the Autobahn. You should be able to fly 90 miles an hour because there's no fucking traffic because nobody got any money. Nobody has any cars. Nobody has any homes. Nobody has any way to get around. So they just sit in their refrigerator box under the bridge and wish for better times. But it's not that way. If things are so bad, then how come you don't walk in the grocery store with one checkout line open, full shelves, and you and two other people in there? People don't have money to go grocery shopping, so what the fuck are they doing in the store? Are they stealing? Are they all couponers? I know somebody's going to say, well, it's all the WIC people. No, it's not. And then there's the whole, it's so horrible. Again, if it's so horrible, why is everybody killing themselves to get here? And once they get here, why are they all hell-bent on digging in their heels and staying here? You can't make me leave, no matter what. And why is everybody rallying around to keep them here? No matter what they're doing or who they're doing it to. It's such a horrible, racist, disgusting place. But yet, come on, brown people, come on. Oh my goodness. You're treated so horribly here. Then why the fuck didn't you stay home? Why did you come here? Why did you risk it all to come here if it's so horrible? Why even bother if it's so disgusting? If it is on the economic decline, why would you want to be here in a place where you can't afford a home? You can't afford a car. You can't afford to eat. And if you have a car, you can't afford to put fuel in it, so you can't even use it. Why? Why would you want to come here? And if it's so racist and so horrible and oppressive, then why are all the oppressed people here trying to get more brown people to come over here and be mistreated when they can stay home and be quite happy practicing their religion, having their Sharia lawyers and tribunals telling everybody what to do? No, they want to come over here and do it. Why? It's such a horrible place. I don't understand it. But again, I'm walking around. I'm not being bothered. And for as horrible as it is, yeah, I'd rather be here than anywhere else. I'm free to walk around. I'm free to talk, say whatever I want to. I have a car. I have a home. I have the ability to pay for things and still have a little bit left over. Granted, it's not much, but it's a little bit left over. I'm not living like a king, but I'm not starving either. I don't live in a big mansion, but I don't live in a cardboard box under a bridge either. So all this gloom and doom and all this can't, yeah. Just because you can't the way you want to, or the way you think you should be able to, or maybe even the way that you used to, or the way your parents told you that they did. Maybe you can't like that. But that doesn't mean you can't. And that doesn't mean you're not able to. At least not yet. When the communists and the socialists take over, then that's a different story. Then you'll get what you're given and you'll be happy for it. But until then, stop with the gloom and doom. Because Wal Marts are still here. The abandoned, empty Wal Marts aren't FEMA camps or prison camps. Still isn't any martial law, and there never was. So the sky didn't fall back then, and it ain't gonna fall now either. So just relax, go outside, look up at the sun, and be thankful that that big star's still shining and didn't burn out yet. Look at the sky and see that it's still blue. Look for little puppy dogs and dragons in the fucking clouds. And be happy that you can go home, open the refrigerator, and it's still on, and there's still food in there for you to eat. But hey, you don't have to agree with a damn thing I say, but I will tell you, this is Blind Views, and that is definitely the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.